Welcome back to C2 Novel and Vocab Week 12. Woo! Good job, everyone. We are at the half point of the semester. You're doing so great watching all these videos. I'm so proud of you. Let's keep it up and finish strong in the last half of this semester. So if you've already watched my videos, go ahead and skip to the first word. But if you're new, stay and listen. So, hello. My name is Miss Kimberly. And the goal of our session is to have students, you, the viewers of this video, understand each word in our vocabulary workbook and to be cognizant, which means to know, of some phrases from the novel that may be difficult for us to understand. And I will be here to help you and guide you through it all. So today's agenda, we'll be going over Week 12 vocabulary. Then we'll go over extra example sentences. And actually, in today's agenda, we will not be doing number 3. There will not be another video for difficult phrases from the novel because we just finished James and the Giant Peach last week. And there's no new novel yet. New novel will be next week. And then after the example sentence, you will have to review and self-study. Are you ready? What? Why are we doing this? It's because, first, vocabulary acquisition. That means to continually put more words into our word brain bank. By learning the definition, synonym, antonym, and the part of speech of a word, this can significantly improve your reading comprehension and enhance your contextual usage. Meaning, the more words you know, the better you'll understand the books that you read. Next, we're going over extra example sentences, and this is to help with your writing variation. By looking at a variety of example sentences with one specific vocabulary word, students can learn how to use the word in different sentence structures and then ultimately make your writing more interesting. So yes, let's get going. Please go ahead, if you don't already, get your vocabulary workbook and turn to Week 12. And it's on page 98. Everyone open up to page 98. 98. Number 1, let's get started. The word is version. Everyone say version. Version. The synonym is variation, and the part of speech is a noun. The definition says a form of something that is slightly different from an earlier form or from other forms of the same thing. So it's just another version, another form, another way of something that was made before. In our TED Talks, it says, I only have the older version of the software. The new one will not be released until next month. So yes, whenever we have to update our computers, you may or may not know if you really like to play with computers, but with updating our software, it just means like it comes with newer things to help with protecting from viruses, or maybe it has new fonts, or has something that makes your computer faster. So let's look at the example sentence and read it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. My computer keeps reminding me to update the software to the latest version. Yes, whenever sometimes I turn on my computer, it always says, there's like a little pop-up at the top right of my computer, and it says, click here to update your software. Or also for my phone too. It always often has to say that it updates the software. And then sometimes the font changes, or sometimes things get smaller, sometimes things get bigger, or they change colors. It's just a different version, slightly different. Also, remember to write this example sentence down, the one that we just read together, hopefully, in this white box. Let's look down here. It says, this recipe has a vegetarian version for people who don't eat meat. For example, some people who like lasagna, right? It's so yummy. But some people who don't eat meat, there's a different vegetarian version, a different style that you can take out the meat and use something else, maybe like tofu. Next, it says, after several trials, they finally released a version of the game with updated characters. Ooh, some of you, we play games, right? And sometimes they have an update because there's a new character that they're going to introduce. Super awesome. Version. Everyone say version. Next one, number 2. Oh, I say this word when I'm reviewing, but everyone say significantly. Significantly. The synonym is substantially, and the antonym is insignificantly. It is an adverb, and it means in a way that is large or important enough to have an effect on something or to be noticed. Meaning there's a big change or it has a big impact on something. It's an adverb, significantly. In our TED Talks, it says the price of 3D printers has decreased significantly in the last couple of years. So significantly, maybe it was like, say that was like $300, but now it's maybe $50. I just made the price up. I'm just trying to show you the exaggeration of how significantly it dropped in price. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. The city's population has increased significantly from 10,000 to 100,000 people. That's a huge change from just 10,000 to 100,000. Yikes. Next line, let's look at the bottom. It says the temperature dropped significantly during the night, making it much colder in the morning. So even like with right now, I just had a pop-up and I think it was trying to tell me that I had to update something for a different software version, but it went away. Anyhow, here recently, right now, it's getting colder, right? Because we're in fall. The temperature has not significantly dropped, but it has definitely dropped since the summer. Next one, it says her mood lightened significantly after hearing the good news. So maybe she was in a bad mood, but all of a sudden she became all happier because of the good news that she heard. Number 3, everyone say accelerate. Accelerate. The synonym is advance, and the antonym is delay. The part of speech is a verb, and it means to make something happen faster or earlier. To accelerate. Imagine like a car going super, super fast all of a sudden. Vroom, it accelerated. Let's read the sentence. It says, the pace of change has accelerated in recent years. It is difficult to keep up with everything that is happening. So here it means that the change has become faster and faster. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. Scientists research ways to accelerate the growth of crops to quicken the process. So sometimes they will research different ways to make plants and flowers and different things grow faster, to accelerate it. Good. Over here it says the car began to accelerate as it entered the highway. Yes, when we enter the highway, we don't go slow all the time, right? It's faster there, so you have to go from accelerate. Next one, it says running downhill caused him to accelerate much faster than he expected. Oh my goodness. One time I was also running down a hill and then all of a sudden I went really fast. And then I couldn't stop and then I fell. So if you've ever like run down a hill before, I'm sure it's not just like you would go and accelerate. Also, one time when I went skiing, I accelerated so fast, I just went whoosh, and I was down at the bottom of the mountain already. Accelerate. Number 4, everyone say evolve. Evolve. The synonym is develop, and the antonym is regress, which is a hard word, but let's look at the definition. It's a verb, and it means to change gradually, often into a better more complex or more advanced state, meaning to change into better, 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 better. Before going to the example sentences, I would like to just help you, like Pokemon, right? Squirtle, the little turtle one, the blue turtle, it evolves into Blastoise, the really, really big turtle. It evolves into something that's bigger, better, and more advanced, and more powerful at that too. Let's look at the sentence from TED Talks. It says, this technology will evolve and will continue to improve in the coming years. Meaning the technology will change as it has been already. The technology that we have right now is not the same from 20 years ago. It evolved. It changed into being better. Next, let's read the example together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Do you think people will eventually evolve into robots one day? I don't think I'm ever going to change into a robot, and I certainly hope I don't. Let's look here. It says technology evolves so rapidly that it's hard to keep up with all the new gadgets. Oh my, yes. Like right now, with this cell phone, there's so many different things that I don't know what to do with. It's just kind of very different from the cell phones that I used to use a long time ago. Next, it says cities evolve over time with new buildings and roads being constructed. Yes, long time ago, believe it or not, us who live here in Busan, Gwangan Bridge was not there 100 years ago, okay? I don't remember when it was built, but it was not there maybe even 50 years ago, I think. Can someone help me figure out when Gwangan Bridge was built? And write it on your mission later. Next. Now, let's move on to our novel words. These novel words are all review from James and the Giant Peach. And I keep looking over here because my James and the Giant Peach book is over here. Anywho, number 5, everyone say ghastly. Ghastly. The synonym is horrifying and the antonym is pleasant. It's an adjective and it means very frightening and unpleasant. So it's scary and we don't like it. Ghastly. In the book it says, and there they sat, these 2 ghastly hags sipping their drinks. Who is this talking about? Aunt Sponge and Aunt Spiker. Yes, yes. Example. 1, 2, 3. The abandoned buildings were a ghastly sight, terrifying anyone who passed it. So it's very scary, terrifying. Over here, it says, she saw a ghastly shadow in the dark, which made her heart race in fear. So her heart was beating really, really fast because she saw a scary shadow. Maybe she was by herself, and because she saw a shadow, she was like, oh, I'm not here by myself. Next one, it says, the ghastly makeup made the actor look like a terrifying zombie for the movie. Oh my. Yes, actors go through a lot of different makeup to look like what they're supposed to. And this makeup here was ghastly because it's very scary and frightening. Number 6, everyone say station. Station. The synonym is position and the part of speech is a verb. It means to go somewhere and stand or sit there, especially to wait for someone or something. So you're positioned there, you're sent there, you're put there to stay there. In the book it says, these 2 crafty women stationed themselves at the front gate with a large bunch of tickets. Meaning when they're trying to show the peach to everybody, they're standing there getting money from people and giving out tickets in order for them to see the big peach. Let's read the example. We stationed ourselves at the entrance of the restaurant to greet guests. Good. So whenever you go to a restaurant, there is usually a person there. They say, welcome to our restaurant. Well, here, let me take you to your seats. And that's why they're stationed there. Over here, it says the reporter was stationed in the middle of the crowd to cover the event live. So maybe there was like a big protest or maybe even a fun concert, and the reporter was stationed there. He had to be ready to do the news report and stand with all the people around him or her. Next, it says he was stationed outside the store to hand out flyers to passers-by. So usually when you pass by typically a phone store in Korea, there's always people outside of the phone store, and they're always like handing stuff out. Here you go, please buy our phone, come to our phone shop. And they're stationed there in order for them to hand those flyers out. Number 7, everyone say primly. Primly. The synonym is correctly, and the antonym is sloppily. It is an adverb, and it means in a proper, neat, and precise way. In our book, it says, you're a slither, that's all you are. You just slither along. I glide, said the earthworm primly. Meaning, you slither, but I glide. Being very confident and think that he's better. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. The princess sat primly in her chair, following her lessons on table manners. So she's sitting all properly with her hands like this and just... Let's look over here. It says, he walked primly down the street, careful not to step in any puddles. So here he's trying to be proper and neat by not getting wet. Being very careful. Next one, it says, he primly corrected his friend's grammar, wanting to make sure everything was just right. So it's just saying, it's not your with Y-O-U-R, it's your with Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. I don't know, that was just my example. My face just got red because I got embarrassed for making that example. Let's move on. Number 8 is hysterics. Hysterics. So the synonym is frenzy, and the antonym is collectedness. And it is a noun, and it means an uncontrolled laughter, crying, or other extreme emotion. So it's just whatever emotion that you're feeling, but on 100,000 level. In the book it says, this sent the centipede into hysterics. Pulling his leg, he cried, wriggling with glee and pointing at the earthworm. I forget what was so funny here, but something was happening. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. Leo broke into hysterics and began crying loudly when he realized he was lost. Yes, one time I was lost when I was a child too, and I went into hysterics. I was crying so loud and I couldn't stop because I thought I lost my mom. Over here, it says, she tried to stay calm, but when the spider appeared, she went into hysterics. Oh my. So I was at a restaurant, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I was eating, and all of a sudden I saw a big old spider around this big. That's pretty big, right? That's pretty big. Around that big on the wall, and I didn't go into hysterics. It was not uncontrolled, but I did get really scared. Next one, it says his friends were in hysterics after he tripped and fell in the mud. So here, what type of hysterics do you think it would be? Hysterics, uncontrolled laughter, or uncontrolled crying? Probably uncontrolled laughter because his friend tripped. But let's not laugh. Let's help our friend up, okay? Number 9, the word is pickled. Everyone say pickled. It's an adjective, and it means to be preserved with salt, water, or vinegar. Meaning, these pickles up in the picture were not always pickles. They were once small little cucumbers. In the book it says, and pickled spines of porcupines, and then a gorgeous roast of dragon's flesh, well hung not fresh. It's just trying to say that these spines, the vertebrates, the backbone of these porcupines were pickled in some salt water and vinegar. Blech. Example. Let's read together. 1, 2, 3. The pickled cucumbers will add a tangy flavor to the sandwich. I loved pickled cucumbers. I love pickled vegetables. Yum, yum, yum. Here it says, he added some pickled radishes to his salad for a bit of a crunch. Yum. So here, I know when we eat some fried chicken in Korea, we also have some pickled radishes as well. Next one, it says the jar was full of pickled garlic cloves that had been soaking for weeks, meaning these garlic cloves have been in the salt water or the vinegar for a long time. That's how they are pickled. Good! Let's turn to the next page. Page 100. And the word is tether. Everyone say tether. The synonym is bind and the antonym is unfasten. It is a verb and it means to tie something, such as an animal, to a post or another fixed place with a rope or a chain. So what does that all mean? It just means to tie something to something else. But that something else has to be stuck there. It cannot be moving. Tethered. In the book it says, and the seagulls kept coming, and James caught them one after the other and tethered them to the peach stem. Remember, he would throw the spider web or the other, what was it? Let me know. I don't remember. So he used the string of either the spider or something else, but tethered them to the peach stem. Good. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. She tethered her dog outside and made sure that the leash was tied tightly. Again, maybe we're going to go inside to get a cup of coffee, and then someone would tether their dog outside, so because the dog's not allowed inside. Here, it says he tethered the balloon to the chair so it wouldn't fly away. Usually for birthday parties, we would tether balloons to other different things so that it could decorate, but also not fly away. Next, it says the dog was tethered to a post to keep it from running into the street. So here, similar to the sentence above, but this one was saying that it was tethered so that it wouldn't go to the street. Number 11, our long word. Ready? Rambunctious. Everyone say rambunctious. The synonym is unruly, and the antonym is restrained. It's an adjective and it means full of energy in a cheerful and an uncontrollable way. So super, super loud, super, super full of energy, and super, super crazy. In the book it says, why must you always be so rude and rambunctious to everyone? So that means just super loud and too full of energy. Example, 1, 2, 3. The rambunctious kids laughed and shouted loudly as they ran toward the park. And even right now, as I am recording, I can hear some rambunctious kids outside my window. I think they're super happy that school is out. Let's look here. It says the teacher had trouble controlling the rambunctious class after recess. Oh, I know. Students love recess and they get super excited and full of energy, but when they come back to class, the energy is still going. So sometimes it's hard to be like, okay, everybody calm down. Let's write a 5-paragraph essay. Is that what teachers sound like? Next one, it says the dog became rambunctious when it was time for a walk, jumping and barking. Oh, I know my friend. She has a dog, and whenever we say outside, park, walk, the dog goes crazy. The ears go whoop, and it goes whoop, 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 and then it goes crazy. Rambunctious. Number 12, everyone say modestly. Modestly. The synonym is humbly, and the antonym is proudly. It's an adverb, and it means in a way that does not praise one's own abilities or possessions. So it's not saying, I am awesome, I am great, but more so just thinking to themselves about it. In the book it says, I am told that they do, the ladybug answered modestly, blushing all over. So she's trying to just answer not so proudly, so opposite of proudly. Example, let's read together. I modestly answered her question because I did not want to boast. So you can be like, hey, what'd you get on the test? And instead of saying, oh, I got 100%, nothing wrong, you can just say, I got an A. Or you can say, oh, I passed. Meaning you're not telling like the best score ever and saying that I'm so great. You're just saying it modestly. Next one, it says the artist modestly mentioned that her painting was just a hobby. So everyone's like, wow, it's so beautiful. You're so great. You're so talented. And then the artist goes, oh, this is just a hobby. Next one, it says he modestly smiled when they complimented his guitar skills. So he just says, when someone says, wow, you're so great. Whenever I make these videos, I feel like I turn into an actor or an actress because I'm like acting so much with these example sentences. I hope you guys like it. Cross them off fingers. Next one, 13. Everyone say billowy. Billowy. The synonym is fluffy, and it is an adjective meaning appearing large and soft or filled with air. We just did this, I think, the last week, but let's keep going. In the book, it says, deep in the hollow of a large billowy cloud, they spotted something that could only have been a cloudman's city. So billowy cloud, really, really, really big and fluffy. Next one, it says, ready? We have to read together. Oh, I almost forgot. 1, 2, 3. Her dress was made of billowy fabric that flowed with every step she took. So as you can see in the picture, it's very flowy and fluffy and full of air as she walks every step. Here, it says the billowy clouds filled the sky, making it look soft and fluffy. Oh, yes, I love it when I see billowy clouds. The ones that are like super huge and fluffy. Those are my favorite clouds. Not the clouds that just look like air. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Next it says his jacket was too big and looked billowy in the strong wind. So maybe there was wind coming and then the jacket just went woof and it got much bigger, filled with air. Billowy. And our last word for our novel, it says chaperone. Everyone say chaperone. The synonym is overseer, and the part of speech is a noun. It says a person who accompanies and looks after another person or group of people. In the book it says to babysit and sing and knit and be a chaperone. Basically somebody who's coming to watch over you, an adult. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. My mom volunteered to be a chaperone for my school field trip to the forest. That'd be so much fun. Here it says we had a chaperone with us during the class outing to make sure we stayed safe, so no one will go out somewhere else. Next one, it says my older brother was my chaperone when we went to the concert. So that would be great. My older brother also would be my chaperone sometimes when I would go play with my friends, because he would be the adult, making sure that we were safe and not doing anything bad or not getting kidnapped. All right, let's move on to our textbook words. Number 15, the word is sneer. Everyone say sneer. The synonym is scorn and the antonym is admire. It is a verb and it means to talk about or look at someone or something in an unkind way that shows disrespect. So basically, saying something or looking at someone in a mean way. It's not good. Let's look at the example from our textbook. It says, some men laughed and sneered. Planting trees was woman's work, they said. Let's read the example. 1, 2, 3. The bullies sneered and made fun of the new student for not having any friends. That's not nice. Why would you make fun of the new student? Of course, they're not going to have any friends when they first come. Those bullies. Here, it says the villain sneered as the hero struggled to free himself from the trap. We usually see this in movies, right? The hero is tired and about to give up, so the villain sneers and goes, but all of a sudden the hero wins. Next, it says he couldn't help but sneer when his rival made a mistake during the game. So, say that you had a rival, but they made a mistake, you're like, But, again, it's not kind, so we shouldn't be sneering. 16, everyone say outspoken. Outspoken. The synonym is unreserved, and the antonym is timid, which means shy. Let's look here. It says it's an adjective, and it means direct and open in speech or expression. Basically, outspoken means you don't hide what you want to say. Whatever you want to say, you just say it. Sometimes it's a good thing, but sometimes it can also be a bad thing. In our textbook, it says, others complained that Wangari was too outspoken with too many opinions. But sometimes being outspoken can be good. People who are outspoken will often make changes in the world. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. She is an outspoken woman who always expresses her thoughts clearly. So instead of hiding all of her thoughts and keeping it in, she would say it out loud. Here, it says the boy was very outspoken in class, never afraid to share his opinion. So whenever that teacher asked for volunteers or for thoughts, that boy would always raise his hand. Next one, it says her outspoken nature often got her into trouble because not everyone agreed with her. So sometimes if you always tell your opinion and there's people that don't agree with you, sometimes it can get you in some trouble. But is outspoken good or bad? That's up to you. 17, everyone say canopy. Canopy. The part of speech is a noun, and the definition says a layer of something that spreads out and covers an area like a roof, especially branches of trees in a forest. In the book it says, the roots of our future will bury themselves in the ground and a canopy of hope will reach the sky. This whole sentence is very figurative, okay? But canopy, as you can see in this picture, is like what is going over the roof. Example, let's read together. 1, 2, 3. The silk canopies will allow the guests to stay cool in the shade. Yes, to have something above you and to keep you shaded, like my face right now. But without it, it's bright. Let's look here. It says the dense canopy of trees provided shade from the hot sun during their hike. So usually also whenever I go up to Cheongsan, I'm not super hot because the canopy of trees, the tree branches make a little shade like this for me to walk. So it's very nice. Next it says a canopy of colorful balloons filled the ceiling at the party. So everybody look up to your ceiling right now. Imagine that there are all these balloons covering it. Then that would be your canopy of balloons. Very pretty. And number 18, everyone say envision. Envision. The synonym is to visualize, to think and see. And it's a verb. It means to picture mentally. So to think of and to make a picture in your brain. In the book it says, because of Wangari, those who carry on her work can envision a clean, safe environment for all. So they can think and they can see a safe environment. Let's read the example. 1, 2, 3. The fashion designer envisioned all the beautiful clothing she wanted to make. So she's thinking, I want to make a red t-shirt, some blue pants, a green sweater, and she's like thinking about it and seeing it in her brain. Over here, it says, as the story was read aloud, The children could easily envision the characters and setting. So as you listen to someone reading the story, you can now think of it. What's happening? Oh, that character's here. Oh, they're in the forest. Oh, they see a bear. Things like that. Next one, it says she could envision herself winning the race and standing on the podium. So before the race, she's thinking of winning, and she sees herself winning the race and then getting the gold medal. Envision. Let's go to the next page, 102. Number 19, the word is latest. Latest. The synonym is newest and the antonym is oldest. It is an adjective and it means most recent. So the most recent thing that happened. Not something that's super old, but the latest. Everyone, let's read the example together. 1, 2, 3. She wears clothes that follow the latest trends and buys the most recent designs. So this girl, she's our it girl. She's our fashionista. She's not going to buy clothes from 10 years ago, yet alone last year. She's going to buy the latest trends, the latest clothes that just came out, all the new ones. Let's look over here. It says the latest smartphone model has some really cool features. I didn't know on my phone too, there's a lot of AI on my phone that I can use. I can draw an egg and then the feature will change it to a real egg. That's also because I have the latest smartphone. It's the newest one. Next one, it says the latest discovery in space exploration has scientists excited. Yes, everything that's happening going on in space right now, everyone is super excited because there are so many new explorations and things happening. And our last word, number 20. Everyone say trend. Trend. The synonym is tendency and the antonym is deviation. So something gets away. It's a noun and it means a general development or change in a situation or in the way people are behaving. It's kind of like, hello, what's happening? What's the trend? What are people doing these days? Example, it says, 1, 2, 3. I tend to follow recent trends, so I make similar decisions to the general public. So whenever there's a trend, that means a lot of people are doing it. For example, if the trend was to wear a hat, that means everyone would be wearing a hat. Over here, it says the trend of online learning has grown rapidly in recent years. Yes, there wasn't much online videos 20 years ago, but now online learning videos, it's great. It's growing a lot. It accelerated. Let's use our vocabulary word there. Next one, it says there's a new trend where people wear mismatched socks for fun. I'll be very good at that trend. Sometimes I can't find the same socks, so sometimes I do wear one white one, one black one. If that was a trend, I'll be very good at it. Trend. And now we are done! Mission. Everyone, I think some people are confused with this mission. It does not mean use 3 words in one sentence. I want 3 different sentences, okay, with 3 different vocabulary words. So make sure, even though you did the mission wrong, I still gave you the dollars, but please make sure for this one that you do it correctly. So for mission, write 3 sentences using 3 different vocabulary words from this week. And underline the vocabulary word and also class name, your name, and the week number, please. I need the week number, okay? Thank you very much. So now, it is time for you to review and self-study. This is for contextual mastery, and these are the 3 steps that I would like you to do. 1, review all of the words again. 2, read it out loud. And 3, complete your vocabulary homework pages on page 103 and page 104. Week 12 means that it is probably the week of midterm tests and midterm exams. So make sure for the test that you review all of the words from week 1 through 12 again, because there is a chance that Some of them from the past will pop up on the test, so make sure that you review them. Maybe if you have time, you can review some of my old videos too. Okay? Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys next week in week 13.